Hello, this is Dr. Barry Cook from the Leaders Edge Training Central, coming to you again to bring you over 25 years of leadership training. I have had tremendous successes, and I've learned a lot of things by not following the things I know are true in leadership. There isn't shortcuts, and the things that many times that we don't emphasize are the most important elements of leadership. It's my passion and my assignment before God in this earth to continue to build leaders to change their generation through the power of Jesus Christ. Today we're going to talk about 10 extraordinary traits of leaders. Beautiful message today. Get out your pen and paper. You can use these short outlines to train your own people. When I come into a church or do a Skype training or phone coaching or counseling, many times I'll take weeks or months working through some of these elements. But I want to give you an overview or an outline form or some things that you can take back and use. It's your takeaway. Please use these resources not only for yourselves, but pass them on to others. Potential leaders that you know love to learn and grow about leadership. They say that leaders are readers and readers are leaders, and I believe that's true. And thank God now for multimedia where we can pass along visuals and learn and train and take notes ourselves. We're going to take our text today on the 10 traits of extraordinary leaders from 1 Peter chapter 5, verses 1 through 4. Listen to this text out of the Amplified. I warn and counsel the elders among you, the pastors and spiritual guides of the church, as a fellow elder and as an eyewitness called to testify of the sufferings of Christ, as well as a sharer in the glory, the honor, and the splendor that is to be revealed, disclosed, and unfolded. Tend, nurture, guard, guide the fold, the flock of God that's your responsibility. Not by coercion or constraint, but willingly. Not dishonorably motivated by the advantages and profits belonging to the office, but eagerly and cheerfully. Not domineering as arrogant, dictatorial, and overbearing persons over those in your charge, but being examples, patterns, and models of Christian living to the flock, the congregation. And then, when the chief shepherd is revealed, you will win the conqueror's crown of glory. Just love that text. Well, as we're looking at these 10 traits of extraordinary leaders, I want to remind you what Harold Geneen said. Leadership is practiced not so much in words as in attitudes and in actions. What an awesome quote. Now, as we begin to examine these characteristics, I want you to look at yourself, evaluate yourself, and then help train others also to grow in these leadership characteristics. So that whatever your goals, whatever your team goals are, whatever those around you are trying to accomplish, the vision that God has given you, whether at home or whether your workplace or whether in the church of the Lord Jesus Christ, these leadership characteristics are going to help you. The first leadership characteristic of an extraordinary leader is make things happen in any environment. That's right. Extraordinary leaders make things happen in any environment. It's fascinating. Mark 10:27. You can look at the life of Jesus. He firmly believed that those things that were impossible with men were possible with God. Leaders have a different way of looking at problems. They see them as hurdles or challenges. They're not stuck in the fact of we can't do it. You very seldom hear a real leader say we can't do it. They say, how can we do it? It is a vast difference in people that like to sit around and talk about getting things done and those that really want to get her done. Extraordinary leaders are people that make things happen in any environment. I could go into detail telling stories about being told no and getting a building permit, about story after story of both mine and others throughout history that have been able to overcome odds that were impossible to get through. I'm telling you, I'm still living some of those, and I can tell you, God will make a way. And a leader, an extraordinary leader, makes things happen in any environment. Number two, extraordinary leaders see opportunities and they seize them. They have confidence and they go for it. 1 Peter 1:13. They're action takers. You hear me say this a lot, but extraordinary leaders aren't afraid to take action. They don't want to sit around, talk for 2 hours about all kinds of things, and leave, and no one does anything. Action steps are the result of a quality meeting. Checkpoints along the way and along the process are characteristics of excellent management. Motivation to continue through the various phases of a process is characteristics of an excellent leader. Now let's move along to number 3. The first one was extraordinary leaders make things happen in any environment. Extraordinary leader number 2 is they see opportunities and they seize those opportunities. They have confidence and they go for it. Number 3, characteristics of an extraordinary leader is they positively influence actions and opinions of others. They inspire others to follow them. Acts 26, verses 28 through 29. They're not forcing people. They're not commanding people. They're not dictating lives over people, but they're getting connected in people's lives. They're relaying information. They're using their communication skills. They're nurturing the lives of those around them, and that releases a quality, an energy, a motivation in the vision to get things done. Leaders, extraordinary leaders, they positively influence actions and opinions of others and inspire others to follow them. The fourth characteristic trait of an extraordinary leader is they add value to their leaders. That's right. And they bring increase and multiplication to their lives. 2 Samuel 23, 15 through 17. Listen, when a real person that has a quality leadership characteristics about them, they're not always being drug along. You don't have to call them up and remind them all the time. They're there. They're participating. They want to get involved. They've got something to give, and they've been working on something, and they've got creative thoughts. They're not trying to toss around ideas to stall. They're not trying to bring up things to be negative and contrary just so that they can get their perspective heard. But they add value to the leader. They add value to the vision. And the flip side of that is a quality leader, an extraordinary leader, also adds value to other people that are following. They don't just take, they add value. Lastly, on this video is extraordinary leaders draw leaders to themselves. What I mean by that? You look behind you. Who's following? If there's nobody following, something's not right and something's not clicking in the leadership qualities. So when we say draw leaders to yourself, I'm not talking about a Jezebel spirit. I'm not talking about an Absalom spirit where you pull people to yourself against the leadership. I'm saying you're able to attract people. People are attracted by what you value. Their seed produces after its own kind. Matthew 10, 24 through 25. There's a productivity in the leadership quality. It's an extraordinary quality of an extraordinary leader. That's our first 5. We'll cover the next 5, 6 through 10 in part 2. Thank you for joining me. Tell somebody about these videos. Pass them along to somebody. And make sure that you help leaders grow strong in this hour so that we can truly build leaders to change their generation through the power of Jesus Christ. Success to the kingdom and success to you.